did you make any mistakes? Did you know that already, or did you come to a conclusion?
No. That's what I was saying. The old site, which was called Dia Diwan, and I don't even have images. I wish I could actually show it to you, and you can see that it was very busy. I mean, it was a beautiful site, but it was busy. You get from one page, then to get to the next page, you kind of have to search, and if you didn't go in from this page to the shopping, you could never really go through it. And when we built it, I was sure that this was on the money. I was like, this is it, for sure. And it was...
How did you find out that it was wrong? Was that through feedback?
One is feedback. Two, there's something called Google Analytics, which is this sort of free service that you can see who's coming to your site, how they're coming. And you could see how the bounce rate was, how many pages people would look at, and when we would do small tweaks, how that would make big changes in the viewing patterns of users. And you can see that very easily. So, no, building your own website is never easy, and even if you go to a design agency, I really think that unless you're really, you have that feeling and have been burnt by it, it's very difficult to really get it right, to be very honest. I mean, when I got my first laptop, business school, I had never turned on a laptop. So there was a lot of hurdles.
Sure.
The word PHP and HTML and,
There's the Sketchbook.
WYSIWYG editor and, like, so all of that, now I can sort of do a little bit of HTML, I can build a newsletter, and I sort of feel really proud of capabilities. It does take me a long time, but at least, and those are big hurdles. But once, if you're enjoying the process, then it's all good from that perspective.
And then I think with social media as well, do you feel that you get the customer feedback then as well? You're getting to see their actual instant real-time reactions to things.
Well, on Facebook what's very interesting is actually I just get messages, like personal messages from people who I just wanted to say I really loved your website, so very cool, or hi, I'm a designer, I just showed in London, Fashion Week, and I'd love to be on, you just...
If the designers, obviously they're new and they're not shown in any other sites, where are you getting your promotion apart from social media?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Right now, that's primarily what we're doing. I'm actually a really big believer that social media, taking it even to things like blogs,
Foursquare and everything.
Everything.
Really
On Friday we uploaded a whole selection of products onto a website called Caboodle, which is friends helping friends shop. And our ranking in Google, just by doing that, went up to the Caboodle, our page on Caboodle went up to the 5th on Google rankings. Just by doing that. We just spent the day tagging and making sure the images were there. So I'm a very big believer that if you are effective in digital marketing, and there's a whole gamut of it. So it's from content to product to social networking and social interactivity to just even buying the right words in Google, you can do a very interesting campaign.
The social media can often just by clicking onto your fan page can result in an instant purchase from seeing someone's comments, and that's incredible. Getting that real-time digital feedback from someone else and then just going onto your website, that's fantastic.
Well,
getting that reassurance, I think.
I'll give the story that was very exciting. It didn't go through, but a friend of mine posted on her Facebook page, Dia Boutique is live. So one of her friends clicked on, writes her an email being like, I love this dress. It was a $7,800 dress. I'm going to an event on Saturday. Do you think I can have it in time? So I was running, trying to, $7,800 dress, but literally it came through Facebook. We weren't able to provide because it wasn't made to order and just didn't have enough time. But and that was just one pure click through Facebook. So that would have been our biggest single purchase yet. Because I think the internet is so amazing once you start to really watch and actually use the movement. We're all part of the movement, but when you really start to watch those movements to know how you can make money off of it, it's very interesting. It's really a very powerful tool, and it's really every day it just continually changes. So it's trying to stay creative enough ahead of the curve, but using a low cost, so you're using what's on the curve because it's obviously cheaper. Like I said, last Friday or Thursday, I just spent the whole day searching designers and the things you can. I found this really cool, I think he might be Armenian French man bag designer, and his brand is called Baghdad, so Bagdad Baghdad bag, and they're gorgeous bags. But like I really did like one of these searches, and so I came up with, and I'm super excited once we launch the men's collection to have his bags, like, and one is called like a minaret, so it's got like this kind of feeling of a sort of an Arabic Islamic touch to it, but not too much. Really, it's such a great, so you find such great talent out there that's not yet really exposed, and we sort of are very mass media, mass brand aware, so it's kind of nice to trickle underneath. What we try and do actually is we try and get a bigger selection of products from one designer and then split it throughout the sort of season so that we don't drop everything at one period, because I think it's very nice for a customer to come back and experience new product, and even if the old stuff is still there, because some of it is part of the season's collection and it didn't run out, but it just sort of, it's nice to sort of see that we have one designer who you guys might know, which is Bodhi Amr. He's a Omani British designer. He's going to be launching with us in I think 3 weeks, and he's making these really cool dresses that are only going to be made to order, so with an availability, so we're going to go live with that. But that, for example, is only 2 styles with a very limited selection.
Did you say you have a menswear?
We're going into menswear, so we're actually going to men's, kids, and homeware.
And what do you think the buying patterns of men using the internet will be like? Because I think they personally would use it more for t-shirts and less for like...
Correct. Well, I mean, that's more the way we'll be doing it. So we will have more t-shirts, a bit of men's grooming. And then in the Middle East, there are 2 very famous designers who do the Arabic men's dress. I don't know what you call it. So, but they're very funky. Like one has like a Andy Warhol Campbell's soup on it. One has like a dark, very different. Yeah. So it's instead of the sort of white men's dress that they wear, it sort of has a funky angle. So it might be something that
So it'd be smaller collection.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the collection will definitely be smaller, primarily from a clothing perspective, because I don't even think there are that many male fashion designers in the Middle East to sort of really. So yeah, so that's the difference. And then kids, there's quite a bit of stuff. And homeware, there's a lot of stuff actually. Homeware is a selection that I'm the most excited to go into. Because that's, we have one designer that we're about to launch who's Lebanese but grew up in Japan. So she's taken a lot of the mother of pearl, we work with a lot of mother of pearl and inlaid work in the Middle East. She's added a Japanese feel to that. So it's got these sort of very clean lines, very sort of dimensional and architecturally clean, but it has this sort of mother of pearl, very oriental as in Middle Eastern feel to it. So, and they're like little posters and trays, and so we'll be selling those sorts of things online as well.
How long did it take you to decide to kind of change your website when you started realising how it was going wrong kind of thing?
I started in June of last year. I met with an agency in Lebanon who did a research for me about SEO and usability, design, a bit what sort of best practices, and I sort of was below the average and falling in each one of those categories. So in June I started to realize that it wasn't the right site. July and August I sort of didn't know how to go about it. So should I keep it the way it was? Should I not? And then in September we met with some media agencies here in London, and in October we signed with them, and it took 6 months, is that October, November, December, January, February, 5.5 months to redo the whole site. One of the big things we're actually doing is we're about to launch in Arabic, which is very exciting for us, because actually we will be the first fashion e-commerce luxury site in Arabic ever. So it'll be a very interesting.
It's a big stamp.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.